What's going on, guys? Today's video is going to be on some more rumors, and they come from Detective Grookey again. I'm going to put his Twitter down in the description below so you guys can check him out. And these ones come with photos and a few leaked Pokemon. I'm saying leaked as in like that's what the person's portraying. This is definitely not a leak. This is going in the rumormon category, so don't say that PokeDom said that this is a 100% leak. It's not true. But before we get into that, roll that intro. Alright guys, as always, I'm going to put whatever I'm talking about up on the screen so you guys can see it as well and see how fake this actually looks. So it looks like, what is this? 4chan? I'm not familiar with the format, honestly. I always get 4chan and the other thing confused. So Peachiche, the peacock Pokemon. This Pokemon uses its beautiful and colorful tail to hypnotize its enemy. It is said that people considered it a deity hundreds of years ago. Okay, so we're gonna look at this Pokemon real quick. This it looks like it's a peacock, but it also looks very similar to a dodo bird, in my opinion. I'm not sure if they're native to the UK. I know they're in the States because I've seen them before. But what is like? Okay, so they're trying to sell this as if there's at the bottom it says these are the only new Pokemon available in the private demo. Okay, so that right there, if not for the image and the way this is worded, that should give you a huge indication this is 100% false. There's no way that any Pokemon demo would give you just 2 Pokemon to play with. They wouldn't put any of the starters unless this private demo that they're talking about is exclusive to like a certain group of people to see. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter how you twist or turn. It makes no sense. So the other Pokemon is Marnana, the Jerboa Pokemon. A shy rodent that uses its banana-like tail to attract its prey. Usually tries to avoid humans. Okay, so first off, what is a Jerboa? I'm gonna check that out real quick. I should put it up on screen. A Jerboa looks like a rodent with like super long legs and a long tail. Okay, so I guess they picked 2 creatures that I believe aren't Pokemon yet. I don't think there are any Jerboa Pokemon. If that's how I'm pronouncing it. If I'm pronouncing it correctly, I'm not sure. But looking at it, the tail's supposed to be bananas, but the other colors on it, its face is darker than the rest of its body, which isn't necessarily an issue. But if you guys check out the shading, if you can just zoom in on it, or maybe I'll put like an image up there so you guys can see it a lot better. There's shadows behind the Pokemon. There's also shadows behind the question marks. It doesn't seem like a Pokedex thing. This looks like someone took a picture of a Nintendo Switch and then did this in like 2D art, and it looks really hand drawn. Honestly, it looks like someone hand drew this and then like just put it in there. I don't know. And you know what's funny? I just noticed at the top, the person anonymous put "You're welcome." Like, okay, it's like someone smacking you in the face and then saying "Enjoy that." That was for you. Like, what? Like, come on now, dude. You can't come in here being cocky and then post something that's completely fake. That's you put like no time into it. It doesn't even look like a Pokedex. And I don't even know. The shading looks completely off. It like tropical bananas. Pokemon hasn't really been super up to date on like taking specific Pokemon from like a habitat and plugging it into the habitat that it belongs in the Pokemon world. They do that, but not always. So I don't believe that the UK is like a tropical place like Alola. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, if I'm wrong on any of this stuff, I will definitely come back to it and revisit it and apologize and say, hey, I was definitely wrong on this video, and whoever made this anonymous was definitely right. But I don't think that this Marnana Pokemon would be in somewhere that's portrayed as the UK. I just don't buy it. And the peacock Pokemon, I feel like we already have one of those. I'm not sure. Do we have one of those? No, I don't think we do. But I was thinking about Ho-Oh in my head. Ho-Oh is not really he's a phoenix. He's not a peacock. He just has very bright colors. But yeah, it just doesn't look like an actual thing. This doesn't look like an actual Pokemon. It's poorly hand drawn. The shadows are off. There's shadows behind the question marks, like on the Pokedex on the right. you can see the shadows behind the question marks. Like, come on, like you could have done a lot better than this. It doesn't look like a Pokedex. And if you notice, so it looks like they put that the Peacock one at number 10. So if I'm thinking about number 10, normally numbers 1 through 9 are the starters, and then I think number 10 in the Kanto deck was Caterpie, and then number 10 in the Johto decks was Sinstret, and then number 10 in Hoenn was Poochyena. Okay, so it seems like they're trying to pass off the Peacock Pokemon as something that you get extremely early in the game, which that would kind of make sense with the blatant lie they told at the bottom that these are the only Pokemon in the private demo. So they're portraying that the private demo only takes place in the earlier routes of the game, which would make sense to some degree for a Pokemon demo. They wouldn't like just throw you right into the middle of like the 4th gym area. That wouldn't make any sense. Give you Pokemon that are probably fully evolved or near that level. So they're definitely trying to pass this off as that. And the other one is Marnana is at number 13. So number 13 in the Kanto Dex, if I'm remembering correctly, is Weedle. The Weedle line starts at 13. And in the Johto Dex, it's Ladybug. But if we're talking, I think the exact one, maybe Hoot Hoot, the Hoot Hoot line fills that role. They're trying to pass this off as the very early Pokemon. And I believe in Hoenn, it's Zigzagoon. So early Pokemon that they're trying to pass off as like the only ones in the private demo, this is spelling like all kinds of lies. It's just blatantly for attention. It's either Photoshop, hand drawn, and it's very poorly done, and they came across as like super cocky with this, like, oh, you're welcome. Come on, dude. Okay, so I'm gonna put the 2 images up of the Pokemon, like close-ups that I cutouts that I did, so you guys can see it a lot better, to see the actual sprites. And it looks like one of them has like the Peacock one has the rainbow on its tail, then has like 3 things sticking out on its head. Is that a peacock thing? Do peacocks normally have feathers on top of its head that stick out? I think it might. But to give them some kind of credit, to not come off as like, oh man, this is just absolutely terrible, I believe they picked two Pokemon that did in fact not have, they don't actually have any Pokemon that are existing from these real life Pokemon, these real life animals, excuse me. So good job on, I guess, going for something that's unique. I mean, they're really cool ideas. I feel like the tropical one, the Marnana, strange name. I didn't even get to the names yet, but the names just, well, excuse me, I just double back. But it seems like the Marnana would be in tropical area. Alola is where this Pokemon would have made more sense, somewhere hot. As far as the Peacock, I don't know too much about peacocks. I know for sure that growing up there was one around me, and I grew up in the South, so they're definitely in the States. So, but the names, Marnana, it sounds, when I first saw this, I was like, I thought of Mana. I thought it was like a evolution of Mana. I'm like, oh, that's like someone's passing off as like they're just making up a Mana evolution. And I looked at it, I'm like, that's completely different. That's not anything like we've seen before. And is this name, this Peachiche name, is it something that a peacock, like a breed, is named after? Is it named after an actual peacock, or is it completely made up? And to go into the Dex entries, it is said that people considered it a deity hundreds of years ago. See, that's another red flag right there. That is a huge red flag that this thing is 100% fake, because something that's supposed to be considered early game material, like a Bidoof, even though like there's so many memes about Bidoof being a god or whatever, there's no way that something that's early game would have this type of Dex entry. A deity hundreds of years ago, that's, come on now. Then Marnana, the part that like looks fake to me is that it usually tries to avoid people. Normally the earlier Pokemon in the Dex are ones that are so common that people, sometimes you see NPCs around the world that have them as pets. So you'll see some people with like a Poochyena as like pets in Heart Gold and Soul, not Heart Gold, Soul Silver, but in 3rd generation games. So I don't buy it. I definitely don't buy it. This is going down as, in my opinion, as fake. You can say rumor mom, but it definitely is not a leak. This, good try. I mean, Doesn't look real at all from any angle that you look at it. So I think that'll be this video. I'm pretty sure it was super short, but this is a super short thing to take care of, as I'm pretty sure that's how long it took them to actually make this. Super short. So I think that'll be it. Dom out.